Ozzie Smith is an American former professional baseball player. Nicknamed Wizard of Oz, Smith played shortstop for the San Diego Padres and St Louis Cardinals in Major League Baseball, winning the National League Gold Glove Award for defensive play at shortstop for 13 consecutive seasons. Ozzie Smith was born in Mobile, Alabama. His family moved to Watts, Los Angeles when he was 6 years old. Smith played a variety of sports in his youth, though considered baseball to be his favorite. Smith played baseball with Hall of Famer Eddie Murray in high school at Locke High School. After high school, Smith attended Cal Poly San Luis Obispo in 1974 on a partial academic scholarship and managed to walk on to the baseball team. Smith learned how to switch hit from Cal Poly coach Bertie Haar. After graduating, Smith was selected in the 4th round by the San Diego Padres in 1977. Smith made his Major League Baseball debut on April 7, 1978, and it did not take long for Smith to earn recognition in the major leagues, making what some consider the greatest fielding play only 10 games into his rookie season. And Smith's barehanded grab and throw out at first was just the start. Ozzie's agility and supreme talent on the field made him a formidable presence and recorded the most double plays in Major League history. It was also during the 1978 season where Smith introduced his signature move.
Excite and entertain. So this kid who was doing flips off an inner tube into sawdust took that, and it first happened with the Padres, but you brought the tradition to St. Louis. Opening day, end of the year, backflip.
In spring training in 1978, we had to run 2 miles after we finished working out. But I wasn't too fond of running. I could run fast, but it was more sprints. I didn't like long distances. And so I was near the back of the pack, and I had Gene Tennis, Raleigh Fingers, Gaylord Perry, Dave Winfield.
They weren't enjoying the running either.
No, they weren't.
Guys.
They weren't. But, they were complaining that I was near the back of the pack and I was the youngest guy. And so to show them that I wasn't tired, I did my round-off bag. Boom. Gene Tennis had girls that were in the gymnastics, and he said, man, I'd love my girls to see you do that. Well, we were never able to do it during the course of the season. So Fan Appreciation Day, which was the last day of the season, he says to me, it would be great for you to do that going out to the position. I go, man, are you crazy? This is the chicken's town.
San Diego Chicken was the mascot.
Ted Giannoulis. And I said, no, I don't want to try and show the chicken up. But anyway, they talked me into it, and I do it. And people liked it so much, they asked me to do it opening day the following year, and lo and behold, it became my trademark. Now it's that thing where little old ladies come up to me and they go, we know who you are. You're that guy that does the flip. I go, I played baseball too. Yeah.
Ozzie Smith's time with the San Diego Padres introduced his signature move. Smith finished the 1978 season with a .258 batting average and .970 fielding percentage, placing him second in National League Rookie of the Year voting to Bob Horner. After working with a hitting instructor during the offseason, Smith failed to record a base hit in his first 32 at-bats of the 1979 season. And off the field, conflict developed between Padres ownership and the combination of Ozzie Smith and his player agent. Meanwhile, Smith was winning recognition for his accomplishments on the field. In 1980, he set the single-season record for most assists by a shortstop, 621, and began his string of 13 consecutive Gold Glove awards. 1981, Smith played in the first of his 15 All-Star games. And while Smith was having problems with Padres owners, the St. Louis Cardinals were also found themselves unhappy with their shortstop, Gary Templeton. And Templeton's relationship with Cardinal Nation had become increasingly strained. On December 10, 1981, San Diego Padres traded Smith for Gary Templeton and a player to be named later. The teams completed the trade on February 19, 1982. And Ozzie Smith's arrival in St. Louis in 1982 significantly impacted the Cardinals. Smith's exceptional fielding at shortstop solidified the Cardinals' infield, turning potential hits into outs and helping a pitching staff that relied on ground balls. This was especially crucial for a team playing in Busch Stadium, a pitcher-friendly park. And in December 1982, Ozzie Smith found himself as the team's starting shortstop in the best of 7 in the 1982 World Series against the Milwaukee Brewers. During the World Series, Smith scored 3 runs, had 5 hits, and did not commit an error in the field. And St. Louis was trailing 3-1 with 1 out in the 6th inning of Game 7 of the World Series. Smith started a rally with a base hit to left field, eventually scoring the first of the team's 3 runs that inning. The Cardinals scored 2 more in the 8th inning for a 6-3 win and the World Series championship. In 1985, what was not publicly known was during a regular season and playoffs was that Smith had torn his rotator cuff after suffering an impingement in his right shoulder. So he worked with Mackie Shieldstone, a fitness trainer, to help strengthen the area, and Smith played the rest of his career missing surgery. And also in 1985, Smith amassed a .276 batting average with 31 stolen bases and .591 assists in the field. The Cardinals as a team won 101 games during the season and earned another postseason berth, now facing the Los Angeles Dodgers. A split of the first 4 games set the stage for Game 5 at Busch Stadium. The score tied at 2 runs apiece in the bottom of the 9th with 1 out. Smith stepped to the bat and pulled an inside fastball down the right field line for a walk-off home run.
Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy. It's a home run by the Wizard.
Ozzie Smith's home run not only prompted broadcaster Jack Buck's "Go crazy, folks" play-by-play call, but was later voted the greatest moment in Busch Stadium history by Cardinal fans. During the 1987 season, over the course of the year, Smith accrued a .303 batting average with 43 stolen bases, 75 RBIs, 104 runs scored, and 40 doubles, good enough to earn him the Silver Slugger Award at shortstop. In addition to winning the Gold Glove Award at shortstop for the 8th consecutive time, Smith posted a career-high on-base percentage of .392. Smith also was the leading vote getter in the 1987 All-Star Game. Smith finished second in MVP balloting to Andre Dawson, who had played on the last-place Chicago Cubs, largely because Smith and teammate Jack Clark split the first-place vote. After the Cardinals lost in the 1987 World Series, the team did not see a postseason for the remainder of the decade, and Smith continued to rack up All-Star appearances and Gold Gloves. Smith was witness to change within the Cardinals organization when owner Gussie Busch died in 1989 and Whitey Hershog quit as the team manager during the 1990 season. Joe Torre became Smith's new manager in 1990, but the team did not reach the postseason during Torre's nearly 5-year tenure. While the Cardinals celebrated their 100th anniversary in 1992, Smith marked milestones of his own, stealing 500 career bases on April 26, then notched a triple on May 26th in front of the home crowd for his 2,000th hit. Smith appeared in a 1992 episode of The Simpsons titled Homer at the Bat, and Smith became a free agent for the first time in his career on November 2, 1992, only to re-sign with the Cardinals on December 6th. Smith won his final Gold Glove in 1992, and his 13 consecutive Gold Gloves at shortstop in the National League has never been matched. 1993 season marked the only time between 1981 and 1996 where Smith failed to make the All-Star team, and Smith finished the 1993 with a .288 batting average and .974 fielding percentage. He appeared in 98 games during the strike-shortened 1994 season, and later missed 3 months of the 95 season after shoulder surgery on May 31st. Smith was credited with his community service efforts with the 1994 Branch Rickey Award and the 1995 Roberto Clemente Award. In February 1994, Smith took on the role of honorary chairman and official spokesman for the Missouri Governor Council on Physical Fitness and Health. At a press conference at Busch Stadium on June 19, 1996, during which Smith announced he would retire from baseball at season's end. As Smith made his final tour of the National League, he was honored by many teams and received a standing ovation at the 1996 All-Star Game in Philadelphia. Cardinals held a special ceremony at Busch Stadium on September 28, 1996, before the game against the Cincinnati Reds, honoring Smith by retiring his uniform number. And on this day, Smith did his signature backflip one more time. January 8, 2002, Smith learned via phone call he had been elected to baseball's Hall of Fame on his first ballot by receiving 91.7% of the votes casted. As it happened, the Olympic torch was passing through St. Louis on its way to Salt Lake City for the 2002 Winter Olympics, and Smith served as a torchbearer in the ceremony with St. Louis Rams quarterback Kurt Warner that evening. Smith was inducted into the Hall of Fame during ceremonies on July 28, 2002. During his speech, he compared his baseball experiences with characters from the novel The Wizard of Oz, from which his son Dustin presented his Hall of Fame plaque. Days later, on August 11th, Smith was back at Busch Memorial Stadium for the unveiling of a statue in his likeness made by sculptor Harry Weber. Besides the National Baseball Hall of Fame, Smith has also been inducted or honored in other halls of fame and recognitions. In 1999, he ranked 87 on the Sporting News list of 100 greatest baseball players and finished third in voting as shortstops for the Major League Baseball All-Century team. Ozzie Smith is considered a legend in the city of San Diego and most notably the St. Louis Cardinals.